Right now, Mr. Cruz goes to Washington. Was this really a principled stand or just political theater? Tonight, we hear from Congresswoman Nina Lowey, a key player in the budget process, on what she thinks of not only Cruz's stunt, but also what might happen. I'll give you a little bit of a hint. She says that even many Republicans aren't standing behind the Texas Republican. And later, guns and accusations of racism. They have pushed the Westchester County executive race onto the front page. We will have the very latest.
Ready to make the jump. There he goes.
Saw Mr. C giving the thumbs up here. The Fonzie nailed it. Well, that was when Fonzie, of course, sporting his leather jacket, jumped the shark. And you can mark the date. It was September 20th, 1977, and more than a hysterical episode. It's when it became clear that that beloved TV show, Happy Days, had literally run fresh out of ideas. Well, what does that have to do with the political world, you ask? Well, for Senator Ted Cruz, that date was yesterday, September 24th, 2013. That is when Mr. Cruz officially jumped the shark.
I intend to speak in support of defunding Obamacare until I am no longer able to stand. Most Americans could not give a flying flip about a bunch of politicians in Washington. Redneck rule number one. Most things can be fixed with duct tape and extension cords. I'm a big fan of eating White Castle burgers. I would not eat green eggs and ham. I do not like them. Sam, I am.
All right. Good evening and welcome to RFL. I'm Richard French, and thank you so much for joining us this Wednesday evening, September 25th. Now, Senator Cruz, he was trying to delay a vote on governmental spending as it relates to Obamacare, and he was also pushing for the defunding of that health care law. President, well, I should say the government will shut down at 12:01 a.m. come October 1st, and that's not a joke. That is if Congress doesn't approve new funding. Now, last week, the House passed a bill that would keep things up and running temporarily, but would completely defund the health care legislation that not only passed, was signed into law, and the Supreme Court even okayed. Cruz's stall tactics, they are really just delaying the inevitable. Senate all but certain here to send the spending bill back to the House with the Obamacare funding back in. Then it's up to the House, and who knows what the heck they're going to do, to pass it. Otherwise, the government will shut down. Not threat, not hyperbole. That is reality. On October 1st, a key component of the health care law, it will go into effect. That's the insurance marketplace that lets Americans purchase coverage. The Senate, they're expected to spend the next couple of days debating a funding bill, and they will send it to the House this coming Monday with only hours to go till the shutdown deadline. The ball then is in the House's court. Now, all the while, we were forced to endure a real-life version of Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. Only difference is the real-life version actually has less substance.
Because I wouldn't give you 2 cents for all your fancy rules if behind them they didn't have a little bit of plain, ordinary, everyday kindness. And a little looking out for the other fella, too. That's pretty important, all that. It's just the blood and bone and sinew of this democracy that some great men handed down to the human race, that's all.
Mike Lee, I am your father. This is a fight to restore freedom to the people. This is a fight to get the Washington establishment, the empire, to listen to the people. And just like in the Star Wars movies, the empire will strike back.
You heard him right. he was quoting The Empire Strikes Back. Okay, I want to bring in our panel on this. We have T.J. McCormack, host of Good Morning Westchester and WVOX Radio 1460. Dominic Carter, political journalist and author, and our senior political correspondent, Andrew Whitman.